I'm going to tell you exactly how to win your VA claim. This is not clickbait, no gimmicks, it's simply understanding how the VA works.
Whiskey 9 Yankee 7 November Golf, over.
The VA is bound by law and policy every time they make a decision, and believe it or not, the VA is not out to get you. Although it very much seems to be the opposite. Evidence-based claims will make sure you win every single time. Let's break down what I mean by evidence-based claims. Waking up one day 3 years after the military because your knees hurt does not constitute you going on to va.gov, logging in, and submitting a VA disability claim. At a minimum of these three things, you need evidence from your military service, meaning while you were in the military, you talked to a doctor, you were seen for these things. You need an event that's documented that you can link this disability to, for instance, like falling off of a truck. Or 3, you need a nexus between the condition and your military service, or the condition and a service-connected disability. Once you have this evidence, you're headed into the right direction, and what you still need is a diagnosis. To get a diagnosis, you have 3 options. 1, you go talk to your primary care team at your VA medical center. It's very easy for Veteran Benefits Administration to go ahead and pull your VA medical records. In addition to that, your VA primary care team can give you medicine, like a muscle relaxer. They can go ahead and set up a treatment plan, like going to physical therapy and all kinds of other stuff. The second option is doing that same thing except for through your private health insurance and your private doctor. If you do this, I always recommend you go ahead and get a printout of those medical records and make sure the VA has them. Or number 3, you can also rely on your C&P examiner to give you a diagnosis. This I highly do not recommend, but a C&P examiner can absolutely give you a diagnosis during that exam. Your C&P exam is a crucial event during the VA claims process. The C&P examiner is responsible for determining service connection and determining the severity of symptoms. I highly recommend that any veteran submitting a VA disability claim understands just exactly how the VA rates that disability prior to going to the C&P exam. In this case, knowledge is power. For instance, if you have lower back pain, your diagnosis is lumbar strain, you need to understand how the VA rates lumbar strain. For lumbar strain specifically, they're going to rate it based off of pain and range of motion. How far can you bend forward? How far can you bend backward? What about side to side? Now, lower back is a bit simple. Let's go ahead and talk about something that's not as simple, like mental health. Something that an x-ray is not going to be able to tell you. For mental health, it's very difficult for veterans to describe how they actually feel and what they're actually going through. And in my opinion, reading how the VA rates mental health will help the veteran not only understand how the VA rates mental health, but it will also help the veteran articulate to the VA what the heck is actually going on within their mind and with their body. Here's how the VA rates mental health and how the VA allocates percentages to each symptom. Obviously, the higher the rating, the more severe the symptoms are going to be. By understanding how the VA rates mental health, you're going to be better prepared to describe to your C&P examiner exactly what you're experiencing. This not only helps you, the veteran, but it also helps the VA hearing language that they understand and that's easily transcribable to a VA rating. Submitting an evidence-based claim is how you win every single time. The magic formula is this: service connection plus diagnosis plus severity of symptoms is going to go ahead and give you your VA disability. You will hear people talk about the 38 CFR and the M21 TAC 1. These are the VA's Bible, so to speak. These provide the VA guidance on how to make decisions. Every single decision the VA makes, again, is bound by law and policy. In a very theoretical world, when you submit your VA claim, you should already know exactly what your percentage is going to be for that claim. The reason why you should know that is because you understand your diagnosis, you understand how the VA rates that diagnosis, you understand the severity of symptoms, and you can go ahead and guesstimate what percentage you're going to get for that disability. Doing the opposite of this is actually what clogs the VA system. Veterans submitting off-the-wall claims just to see what sticks is not the way to go. A veteran with no evidence submits a VA disability claim, that claim gets denied. Now you have a disgruntled veteran who doesn't understand why that claim was denied in the first place, and now all of a sudden you got people in Facebook groups trash talking the VA because they don't understand the process. Not a single person in this world cares about your VA claim more than you do. It's my advice and my recommendation for veterans to educate themselves and understand their disabilities and understand how to win that VA disability claim, starting with an evidence-based claim.